Alright guys, welcome to this edition of Movie Talk, where I talk about all the latest movie news. So first off today, we just got our first image of Wolverine in his iconic yellow suit. Now, if we look at the suit, he doesn't wear the mask, but he's wearing a pretty good suit. The arms could be shown a little, and Deadpool's looking a lot redder with the face on his belt. So I think this is a win for his suit. Okay, next up on our news is this news about the creature Commandos. We've been getting little snippets here and there. We have one image to go off of, but I just found this image of the title. I don't know if it's official, but here it is. So our news is that it'll be set in modern day, which makes sense because you see Weasel, and last we saw him, he ran off on the island of Corto Maltese, and G.I. Robot is a very rusty-looking robot. Next on our news list, we are going to be talking about Blue Beetle and how the movie might flop. Xolo Maridueña, he is a great actor, and I think he deserves this movie to do well. People will go see it if they knew about it. But the thing is, it has one of the lowest trailer viewings of all time in DC. Shazam! Fury of the Gods second trailer and the Red Band Suicide Squad trailer are just below that. The Red Band trailer has 2.3 million views, while the other ones have roughly around 18 million views and stuff like that. So will the Blue Beetle movie flop? Comment below. Next we have news about Kraven the Hunter. No real new news, but I never got to do a trailer reaction. So basically what happens, Kraven is a kid, and then he's a man, he's chasing down a car, then he gets eaten by a lion basically because he's on a hunting trip with his father, Nikolai Kravinoff, who's played by Russell Crowe, and then he becomes Kraven. Then he says the greatest line of all time, and here it is.
I stared death in the face, and for the first time, I saw my true self.
So then we have his brother Dimitri, who's shown off a little bit. He becomes the chameleon usually. He's at a nightclub, so I'm thinking maybe he's starting to work his way up as a big boss. We get a little tease of the Rhino. We also get some pretty awesome shots of Kraven just being a badass. Okay, next movie news, David Cornsweet is getting hate about being Superman because he's saying he's a discount version of Henry Cavill, which Henry Cavill looks like Superman, so it fits him. I think he's gonna do great. He has so long to get in a buffer shape because right now he's a little skinny. But hey, he's a farm boy. Maybe that's how he in movies in the future he'll start to become more ripped after fighting Lex Luthor or working with the Authority or fighting Batman one day or maybe killing Green Lantern or something. I don't know. I think that happened once. Alright, next on movie news, we just got a little bit of news about TMNT Mutant Mayhem. If you don't know, this is a movie bringing back a bunch of classic mutants from the days of the Ninja Turtles, such as Mondo Gecko, Leatherhead, Bebop, Rocksteady, Ray Fillet, Genghis Frog. You know the drill. Now, a little problem I had with it, Superfly. He is usually Baxter Stockman, but they're separate characters, because, I think Baxter creates all of them from animals and not human personas. They were just given the personalities. Because you can see they're a little off from regular humans. The Turtles, so are they, because they were all animals before. Splinter feels like he was, his human version. But, so, we got word Shredder will be appearing in the future movies. He was originally written to be in it, but the story focused too much about him, and they thought it should be a mutant. But with some other names in the trailer, like Cynthia Utrom, she is usually a Krang. So maybe we might be getting hints to the Krang. And I feel like Baxter Stockman's gonna, be a permanent threat for the rest of the time. So, let's not dwell in the past with that one. Moving on to our somewhat final piece of movie news, we have Spider-Man stuff. You're probably wondering, Spider-Man stuff? We haven't done Spider-Man stuff in so long. Yes, loyal viewers, we have Spider-Man news. The reason we have Spider-Man news is because of the Prowler. The Prowler, when he made his appearance in Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, they said that's canon. So I'm wondering what other Spider-Man villains who were hinted at in the past might come back. Maybe the Scorpion. Because last we saw Scorpion, he got hit by a car and then he's in prison talking to Adrian Toomes. And Adrian Toomes technically will still remember who Spider-Man is. Because, Miles Morales is a goofball. And that does it for movie news today. I hope you enjoyed. Please like this video and share it to a friend and say nothing.